Hi guys, good morning. This is Preeti and today here I am going to present you on a topic called personal management. The efficiency of the various office operations and systems largely depend upon the people you have. See, it is know how sophisticated the operations are. The results which come out are only based on the people who are operating it, on the people, on the expertise people who are being with you in the arena of this production. Attracting, retaining, maintenance, procuring, and all this are play a main realm of staffing. And staffing is the most important function of personal management. Staffing, recruiting, compensation, leadership, motivation, they all are the subtopics of personal management. According to Theo Hyman, who is the most famous scholar in business studies, had stated, more than important of having a machine genius or production genius, more than having money in hand, the most important asset which each and every organization should have is people. Is the people who work for your organization, for the fruitfulness of the organization, and for increasing the efficiency of the organization. So, staffing function of the management. So, what exactly is staffing? This word staffing is being defined by Coons and various other scholars in business studies. This is not the exact definition, but it's just their opinion on the word staffing. Staffing is defined as filling and getting filled various positions in an organization. So why is I'm dealing about staffing? Staffing also is the main important process of personal management. Personal management, the word, like getting into details about what is personal management, define functions, its scope, its coverage. First, I'm going to give you a clarity about its spelling. Personnel. Personal. It means dealing with persons. So, personal management. Personal management is recruiting, planning, organizing, directing, controlling, compensation, leadership, motivation, in which individual, organization, and societal objectives are fulfilled and are achieved. So, coming to various characteristics of personal management. So, getting into the detailed study of this personal management. First characteristic of personal management, it is a managerial function. Why is personal management dealt with managerial? Because it deals with all various structures of the management and how a management should perform in order to achieve its standards, in order to increase its efficiency and efficacy at the same time. Second, coming to the second point, personal management is a continuous process. Because once you recruit, after their service or after their retirement, you need to recruit again. So it's a continuous process. It's a round cycle which goes on each and every year or it depends upon the tenure which an employee works or associates with your organization. Coming to the third point, the aim of the personal management is to bring better results. See, in an organization, not just the machines or operations which work together in order to produce a result. It's the employees who try to operate it with high expertise and high knowledge, and they produce better results than the machines. I know it's an old saying where machines do more smarter work than humans, but humans are those people who are that behind the intelligence of that machines working efficiently. Coming to the fourth point, personal management is universally applicable. Believe me guys, universally applicable. It is applicable to each and every organization. It not only in India or not only in the country, but it is like all over the world. It is being used and it is being into force by each and every organization all over the world and all over the countries also. Coming to the sixth main point, it is only on the perspective of the people, of the person who has put his forth in order to serve for the fruitfulness of the organization. The sixth main characteristic of this personal management is keeping in purview the employee who's working in an organization. It is an excellent opportunity for the person in order to increase his capabilities and potentials. The initiation should come from within, where he have to work for this organization and increase the efficiency at the same time, furtherance of his career and enrichment of this knowledge which he is actually pursuing from within. So now we know what are the characteristics of personal management. Now let us go into detail about functions of personal management. Personal management, you have a personal manager who looks after all these personal management functions to be held in order to achieve goals and objectives. So coming to these functions, you have two functions: managerial functions and operative functions. Okay, coming to managerial functions, the word management is planning, organizing, directing, as we already know. So coming to the managerial functions, first is anticipation. Guess how many accept with me saying that anticipation in the present era is the utmost quality which each and every individual should personally have in them, because you need to predict what is going to happen in future and work accordingly. See, it is a live example which can quote from everyone's personal life is when you're in 10th, your parents try to ask you and develop a goal in you, say what you want to study in inter, whether it is an MPC or a BPC or a commerce. Or after the inter, what do you want to do? You want to do BTech, you want to do, you want to go on the management side, or you want to become a doctor. So it is entirely depending upon you. You yourself are predicting what is your life going to be in a future era. So anticipation plays a most important role in an organization also. You need to predict. You need to increase the prices on the demand and supply of your product which you are releasing from the organization. If yours is a normal software company, you need to compete with the rivalries. That's a perfect competition. Anticipation is a main leading to a perfect competition. Coming to the second, planning. So what is planning? As you all define in the commerce, planning is a strategy which is being formulated by the company in order to achieve goals and objectives, which is the usual ending answer in all the commerce questions and the business studies questions too, obviously. So planning is done to know, okay, these are the things which we have to do and we have to put them into action, right? Organizing, the third function is organizing. Organization. So what does the word organization mean? You just can't formulate an idea in your brain saying that, okay, I have to form an organization, so I will form it. But you have various structure for it also. Like suppose in an organization, you have many types of structures like line organization, line and staff organization, you have matrix organization, you have functional organization. Suppose your flow of communication is vertical in nature, like from the top management to the supervisors, to the managers, to supervisors, to the rest of the employees, it is going to have a line organization. Suppose you have various functions like production, marketing, staffing, and sales. All these departments are mentioned. Then you have a functional organization, right? Coming to your organization structure will depend upon your plan which you have earlier formulated. The fourth most important function is directing. You need to have people who direct you towards proper goals. Like you need leaders, you need CEO, you need directors for the company so that they keep their aim and goals and establish a set up an organization where they employed you as a prospective employee and they're aiming the same from you as return back to the company. So they want to direct you, they want to lead you, motivate you, pay for you, and if in any other circumstances they want to be with you in order to maintain an organization in a sustainable growth. Coming to fifth organizational function is controlling. Controlling is very easy. Like you need someone to organize your performance, someone to record your performance, someone to control your performance in the organizations. They have to give a statistical data about your performance by which you get increments, by which you get incentives, by which your salary is determined. And that is the most important thing which each an employer has to do and at the same time employee has to strive for. Coming to now giving a gist about what are these managerial functions. First is anticipation. Second, planning. Third, organizing. Fourth, directing. Fifth is controlling. Coming to operative functions. See guys, managerial function is a little bit tricky, but still you know what to do. But operation functions are literally vast in nature, are literally very much vast and very much deep, where the person should have excellent knowledge in this thing, excellent knowledge in the subject. Because being a personal manager in the personal management, you need to have so many qualities which I'm going to deal later in this video. So coming to operative functions. Operative functions, first function is procurement. See, personal management, the name itself suggests you deal with people, right? So when you deal with people, it's like you want to select people for your organization to work in a higher rate, for a longer period of time. So first is recruitment. And then what is recruitment? First of all, there's a thin line of difference between recruitment and selection. See, recruitment is selecting prospective employees in order to achieve the fruitful people who are suitable for your organization. But selection is a negative process of selecting people and choosing the worthy people for your organization and eliminating the unworthy. That is selection. So recruitment and selection are two various critical processes, and people think, oh, both recruitment and selection are the same, but they aren't. Recruitment and selection have their own differences, and at the same time, when you have a difference between things, you have the same similarities, right? So you have similarities, which I'm going to detailedly explain you in my upcoming videos. So next is development. Done, guys. You have done procuring things. You have invited prospective employees. You have selected them. You have people with you. Now what to do? The second most important function is development. You need to train the people. I'll give you a live example about this development. Other day, CBA has conducted campus placements to its students. Why this the topmost TCS, Infosys, Google, IBM, all these employees and HRs have come up to select people from the colleges? You may ask me, they have just recruited or selected? They have selected, because they selected the prospective students might be in this college, and they have come up only for one reason called innovation. Guys, we at this range, as a student life or as a graduate, we have that utmost knowledge with us that we can literally create wonders. So HRs of various software companies want innovation in your organization so they can step forward with the other rivalries in the same era. So on the same part, TCS had stepped forward to strive for innovation and won that from the students who are the freshers. So the most important thing is, after recruiting these freshers, TCS conducts a training and development program. Because under this training and development, they'll give you training about the present software update. Example, when I was studying my 11th, Java, the most software was in Green, but now it is .NET and Python. So, why not Java, why Python and .NET? Because the software has been updated day and day. We are not technologically obsolete. And we have been updated in a technological version also each and every day. So, along with us, even the employees or the freshers who are coming, they have to know what is Python, what is .NET. So, this TCS people have kept up a development program. So, in order to train and maintain development among these people. Okay, see, this is the main criteria. You are eligible, but with some furtherance of your knowledge. We have to enrich your knowledge by giving development. Training and development is very much important, not only from the employee's perspective, but also from the employee's perspective, because we will enrich our career, enrich our knowledge with fruitfulness. Next is compensation. Compensation is the amount which is given by an employer to the employee. By the person, you're getting amount. It's only for the work which you are being projected in the organization. It is basically salary or remuneration, which you call it so in a general base. Coming to industrial relations, industrial relations can be easily stated by the relationship between two or more parties. Now, suppose I'm a marketing executive of a particular company and I want to market my product, and I really want to endorse my product. I have to search for sponsors. I have to search for the people who establish the same information in the newspapers, furnish the same information in magazines. So I want people. So I have to maintain the industrial relationships. In my same industry also, though I have rivalries, I have to maintain cordial relationships with them, because they might be helpful for me even in the future in my tough times. So that should be a perfect competition. You need not fight with them personally or verbally. You need to fight with them with the results which you produce in the market. So that is industrial relations. Coming to the fifth operative function is other functions. Like in addition to the above functions, we need to have healthy and working provisions. Like not the PFASI, which have to be looked after by a HR manager, the personal manager. These are like ensuring proper conditions to the workers, because proper lighting and working conditions enable employees to increase their efficiency and work more for the organization. If there is improper working conditions, that leads to absenteeism, which may demotivate the employees. So that would be the most important function also. Just don't take it, the other functions are just like, but these also play an important role in an organization structure. So summing up everything, what are the 5 operating functions? First, procurement. Second, development. Third, maintaining industrial relationships. Fourth, compensation. Fifth, other functions. So what is, like, okay, you would have listened like, why is she talking everything about staffing? What is its importance of the staffing in this recent times? See, this is my belief, no harsh feelings. Human resources, like the people working in your organization, are the real assets to your organization. See, the assets, you have fixed assets, you have variable assets. These fixed assets stay with your organization forever, so they give up so much capital to you, right? But at the same time, humans who are working for your organizations also are the assets. They strive so hard in order to increase the reputation of the company, in order to increase the goodwill of the company. At the same time, that might be their own side perspective also stating that they might enrich their career or furtherance of their knowledge also. At the same time, see, nowadays people look towards quality, right? See, now how many people, like, throughout listening to my video, think that if you want to buy a brand, you buy it only by looking into its quality? Not only a brand which a company produces, but also if you want your child to get a fruitful education throughout his life, you look at the quality of education which the school provides. Whether it is ICSE, SSC or CBSE, you look into the quality of education which it provides to students, because students are upcoming generations for us, and they are going to rule this world later, right? Then the third most important function is today's wrong recruitment is tomorrow's industrial relation problem. See, suppose you have made a wrong recruitment process right now, tomorrow that would be the main reason for the downfall of your company too. So today's correct recruitment will enable to maintain higher industrial relationships, and at the same time to maintain standards in the market. So at the same time, there is competition for the companies for attracting and retaining quality and talented human resources who can prove to the public that they are having that higher standard, so the company is still employing them. So lastly, let us know about the qualities of a personal manager. So we have known what is the importance of staffing in the recent times. Now let us know what are the qualities of a personal manager. Okay. A personal manager. Who is a person? A personal manager is a person who works for the fruitfulness of the organization in order to deal with human resources working in the organization. Any grievance, address HR. Any problem, address HR. Any recruitment problem, address HR. You wanted to apply in this organization, address HR. That is the quality and the position of the HR in an organization. So now let us know what are his qualities to become an HR manager. So first is leadership. Like, how many of you listening to this video believe the quotes given by various authors, various biographers, or various philanthropists? A leader is a leader, a person who makes leaders but not followers. Even in the followers, you have to try to make the leaders, right? So see, there's an usual example which I give. It's not it's not example to this, but it's just giving a example to the people, citing it, because few people get demotivated because they are a team player in a team, whereas he's not a leader. Guys, one thing, I'm not stereotyping myself, but it's like A leader is a person who will show you vision and who will drive the way for you to follow, right? But in my opinion, even the team player have to act as a leader, because the leader has his own mind, has his own fruitfulness on driving away. But you as a team player has to coordinate with the rest team players. You have to communicate with them, and that communication should be very proper without ambiguity, which will lead a project to be in a successful mode, and that will lead the leader to get his name. So you tell me, who is important? I mean, leader or the team player? According to me, both are very much important. Leader drives the way, where the team player acts himself as a leader in the team to work very hard, to strive hard for the project to get successful. Guys, like there are many friends of mine who still strive for an app to get worked out, and the success of that app, like even on the graduate, in our student level, on a graduate level, if an app gets worked out, the happiness will be like as if you're earning crores. That physical and the mental happiness which you get from within you as a team or as a leader, that is really very fruitful. And never ever in life you can get that happiness. If you feel like striving so hard for such a success, that's gonna be your great success. So leadership plays an important role, an important quality of a HR manager. Coming to cooperative nature. See, now when a person is in a high standard and when a person is HR, so obviously people might think he's so aggressive, so we can't address him all our details. But a HR manager should have a cooperative nature. He should maintain cordial relationships. First thing, he should have patience to listen to your problems. He has to have that initiation from within. Okay, let me address them. Let me address to their grievances. So a person should have a cooperative nature. He need to maintain that cordial feeling with you. Okay, you're just my pal, you're just my colleague. He need to have that cordial relationship. That cooperative nature in a HR will lead him to fly with flying colors. Because cooperative nature, suppose it also doesn't only mean maintain relationships with the people. It also means where if there's another company who just calls up and says, see, this person whom you have recruited is not doing well, and you please don't appraise him and please remove him from the organization. But that person has strived so much hard for the successful of the organization. At that time, you can't just shout on the other person saying that, okay, who are you to say me? Okay, you can just say, okay, thank you, I look into the matter, and you can just hold up the phone. See here, what a person looks up to you for that qualification is, you are accepting the comments as in a optimistic manner, and you see to it that comment will turn into a compliment, but not again into a comment. So you need to have that initiation from within as a HR manager. Coming to the third, communication skills. See, communication skills is not only important for the HR manager, but also for all the students who are hearing to this video. Not only the students, but each and every individual. Because communication skills is something which is most important right from the first class to an IAS level degree cadre also. Because each and every time you're being judged only by the communication skills which you have. See, before furnishing all these evidences to you, I also personally face them. It's like, even I used to have the communication fear. Because see, I have the communication, I have the knowledge. But only thing which lagged with me is fear. If you want to fight with this fear, just stand in front of the mirror, practice for yourself, practice some speech in front of your mirror. You will actually work out with this communication fear. See, communication skills are very much essential, not only as a person in a group, but also when you're head of something, when you want to be, you're given a higher responsibility. It's your personal responsibility to speak to people about the same topic. Suppose you're facing any problem and you lack communication skills, and because of lacking communication skills, you might have a downfall in your career. And see, it's not a warning, but it's like I've personally faced, like during my 8th, 9th standards, I used to have the communication fear, so which didn't let me to participate in any MUNs. But after 9th, when I was like not forced exactly, But okay, the complaints was very good to me. That compelling of me to join an MUN and increased my communication skills. Like, okay, see, MUN has last for 3 days, no? So the first day they started talking, and I was like, okay, I had a guilty feeling on how if I speak, what people think about me. But second day I spoke literally and I got the best delegate award. So it depends upon the skills which you develop from within. The drive should be from within. That self motivation should be there. Coming to the persuasion power. See, this persuasion power is the trick which I actually use after I was developed with this communication skills. Persuasion power is the power of influencing people. Influence is not the political influence which they do with fake promises. That should be done. The promises which you do should be realistic. The people should try to believe, and they also should get pleased by the influence which you have actually given them. So you need to have that power of persuading people. You need to have the power of pervasiveness. Okay, whatever you speak, people should think that it is correct to the best of their knowledge. At the same time, they need to believe that it is true, and they have to move on like that. Coming to tactfulness, this is also the most important quality which I actually use. Tactfulness is like in various critical situations like negotiations and mediations and other like industrial relations or differences in relation between the employees, you need to be tactful. Like at the time, you need to be so spontaneous so that you have to talk like this that the other people should feel, okay, the mistake would be my side. I have to move on the right side. At the same time, your tactfulness should be helpful in the compromise of their dispute, but not the end of, but should not raise the argument in the dispute. Coming to knowledge of human psychology. See, people think human psychology plays an important role in each and every subject. See, if you are, and mostly it is fruitful for management students, because you need to get in the shoes of the people, guys, because you need to get into the minds of the people. See, it's not just the stuff which a psychologist or which a counselor can do, it's that everyone can do. Because the only thing is, just tackle the situations on your fingertips. You should tackle the situations on your fingertips. Like, you have to get to the situation very well, and you have to have that well-versed information with you. You can easily get into the minds of the people. You can easily counsel people. That should be the most important quality which a HR manager should have. Next, a clever negotiator. This is the most important feature too, because see, in a negotiation process, you need to be clever, because on one hand, if you take a step forward, your company may have a downfall. But if you step forward cleverly in order to please the other party, at the same time your company is also able to fetch up with higher goals, then you have to make the move. You have to have that clever tactfulness at this spot of time. See, it is not everyone's cup of tea, but still you need to be clever enough. You need to act very wise in that situation in order need not to take any permissions. Coming to trustworthy. See, a company has built belief in you and appointed you as a HR manager of a company. Not only a company, but also a school. Like captain, head girl, head boy. They have kept that belief. You need to strive hard to keep the belief, and your duty is to keep the trustworthiness from your side. You need to be truthful to the company, to the organization, to the management which you're working for. Coming to the knowledge of different labor laws. See, people might ask me, why does a HR manager should have information about laws? Laws are the governing bodies to us. So as a law is something which sets you standards, and you need to know. Because if a person comes to you and says that, see, I have a problem and I want compensation from the company. See, you have the rules already furnished in the law. You have labor laws, you have Employee Compensation Act, you have Provident Fund Scheme, you have Employment State Insurance Act. All these acts lays down various provisions in perspective of the employees and as well as the employers. And it's laid down various rules which each and every organization should abide by. Coming to knowledge of general law. See, now, without hesitation, if I go and ask a 6th class student, he is ready to answer what is Article 14. So, you need to have the general information. What is the Article 14 law of equality? Not only Article 14, but you need to know the general provisions of law. Coming to change agent. See, business is a changing element in the nature, guys. You can't stop this nature. You can't stop this change. If the business changes, the business should change along with the change in the nature. You can't stop the changes in nature. Next, it is flexible. See, with this pandemic coronavirus, many of the companies have issued work from home orders. It's only because because of this critical situation, they're flexible enough so that they have amendments in their working hours, and they made their orders to come as work from home. And people also do only for the incentive sorts, and also at the same time some people work for the fruitfulness of the organization. I'm not stereotyping, but that's the general rule which each and everyone follow. Coming to 13th one is organizing and event management. See, in every organization you need to be in a position in order to you can manage events and organize events as such. See, organizing event is not like, okay, you have to supply all for the logistics. It's like just look after what things have to be fetched up and what are the things you have to do to maintain some achieving goals. Okay, so this is the main important things which we have dealt with personal management today in our video. See, people might think personal management is everyone's cup of tea and everyone can learn it just by looking into the book, just reading the verses of the statements which are made by an author in a furnished notebook. But it is everyone's responsibility to know. If being an engineer, you want to set up an organization, you need to know what is an organization, you need to know what is procurement. When you're a doctor, you want to set up an hospital, you need someone to look after all these human resources. So, like, if they might cheat you, so you have to know what is business studies and what is personal management. So it is not, the professions doesn't matter, but the knowledge which you have matters. Knowledge is divine, guys, so don't let it go. See, when someone is trying so hard to give you and furnish you so much information, try to capture it so much. Knowledge is a reservoir, guys. The information comes out like that each and every time, but you need to be in a situation where you accept everything and where you have to learn it. We all have been tough times, but knowledge is divine. Thank you, and in the upcoming video I'll share you about what is recruitment and what is selection, and I'll lay down all the differences and the similarities. If any doubts, please post down in the comments. Thank you.